Hello everyone, we have Naroko, the new Mauler hero. So Naroko is also a strength-based hero as well. The class is a tank and the primary role is regen, so hoping to see some healing maybe. That's pretty interesting too, at regen tank with the strength base there. That's very interesting. So let's go ahead and start with the ultimate skill, Groundbreaker. Naroko summons a young Nadia who inherits 120% of Naroko's initial attributes and is immune to control effects. If Nadia is already on the battlefield, she breaks out of the ground in the area most densely populated with enemies, causing AoE damage equal to 20% of her max health and knocking them into the air. She then taunts enemies within range for 5 seconds while her health is reduced to no less than 20% in the next 5 seconds. And level 2, when Nadia is alive, each time a summoned entity dies on the battlefield, Nadia absorbs its essence and grows, recovering 5% in health and increasing her initial attack rating and max health by 20%. She can grow up to 5 times. And level 3, when any enemy hero uses their ultimate skill while Nadia is taunting, all allied heroes' defense ratings are increased by 40% for 8 seconds. This effect cannot be stacked. So it looks like Nadia here will do quite a bit of damage, also doing some crowd control by knocking the enemies here into the air. Especially using her with summon entities, like maybe with Grizzle, because he summons a lot of entities here, will make her stronger. So yeah, I can see using her with someone, or using Nadia with someone like Grizzle. Overall, sounds like a pretty good skill. Let's move on to the second one, Sandy Citadel. Naroko manipulates surrounding sand to grant all enemy heroes a sand shield lasting 6 seconds while pilfering 50% of the current value of the enemy's shields and converting it into their sand shield value, with the shield value pilfered each time not succeeding 15% of Naroko's max health, then dealing damage equal to 15% of Naroko's max health to the enemies. A sand shield cannot be dispelled, and once ended, it deals damage equaling 100% of the total pilfered shield value to the enemy. In level 2, when an enemy receives a shield while their sand shield is active, 50% of the shield value is pilfered again and converted into their sand shield value. Level 3, damage dealt to all enemies is increased by to 20% of Naroko's max health. And level 4, when an enemy with a sand shield is attacked by an allied hero, the enemy loses health for 150% of the attacker's attack rating. This effect can only be triggered by each ally up to 2 times every 1 second. So it looks like the sand shield here is there to sort of gather damage for the enemies, and as soon as it's time, the shield will deal that damage to the enemies, deal the pilfer damage to the enemies. Also looks like allied heroes will be able to do quite a bit of damage to the enemies with the sand shield as well. And moving on to the third skill, we have Dusty Torpedo. Naroko rings her bells and summons 3 sandfish that smash into no more than 3 enemies with the highest attack ratings. Each sandfish deals damage once equaling 200% of Naroko's attack rating, then dies. Level 2 damage dealt is increased at 220% of Naroko's attack rating. Level 3 is changed to 240% of Naroko's attack rating. And then level 4, we have the first engraving skill. When a sandfish dies, it explodes, dealing damage to 150% of Naroko's attack rating to nearby enemies and stunning them for 3 seconds. So it looks like these sandfish are going to do quite a bit of damage here to the 3 enemies with the highest attack rating. Also, the first engraving skill sounds pretty good. I'm assuming when the sandfish explodes, it'll deal AoE damage, so yeah, doing damage to nearby enemies. Also stunning them for 3 seconds, so doing a little bit of crowd control as well. So that sounds very nice there. Crowd control is a very powerful thing in AFK Arena. And moving on to the final skill, we have Monstrous Morphosis. At the start of battle, young Nadia and Naroko enter the battlefield together. Each time Nadia takes damage equal to 5% of her max health, she grants healing to all allied heroes for 75% of her health lost. At level 2, for every cumulative damage received by an allied entity equal to 20% of their max health, they restore Nadia's health by 5%. Level 3, once Nadia has grown 5 times, she becomes an adult worm crawler. Her normal attack will deal an additional damage equal to 3% of her max health. And then level 4, we have the second engraving skill. When Nadia becomes an adult worm crawler, she sprays venom 5 times against random nearby enemies. Each spray deals damage equaling 200% of Nadia's attack rating to the target. Thereafter, for the deaths of every 3 summoned entities, Nadia sprays venom 3 times instead of her next normal attack. So it looks like this will be the healing aspect for Naroko and Nadia here. Every time Nadia takes damage equaling 5% of her max health, she will give healing to all allied heroes for 75% of her health loss. Also, I like this. I like the second engraving skill as well, spraying venom to enemies here. And for the deaths of every 3 summoned entities, Nadia will spray venom 3 times instead of her next normal attack. So definitely using a hero that summons a lot of entities. Like I said, Grizzle is one that comes to mind. Definitely sounds very powerful for Nadia and for Naroko here. And looking at the signature item, when we unlock the signature item, each time Nadia grows, she permanently increases her allied hero's attributes by 2% of her attack rating up to 5 times. This effect remains after Nadia dies. And plus 10 attributes are increased by 4% of Nadia's attack rating each time. Plus 20 attributes are increased by 8% of Nadia's attack rating each time. And plus 30, venom sprayed by Nadia reduces the target's defense ratings by 10% for 8 seconds. This effect can be stacked up to 5 times. So yeah, making sure that Nadia here grows, she will permanently increase her allied hero's attributes. So very nice. Also the plus 30, when she sprays venom, she will reduce the target's defense rating as well. So pretty good signature item from what it looks like. Let's move on to the exclusive furniture. And at 3 of 3, when Naroko uses her ultimate skill, she restores Nadia's health by 100%. So making sure that Naroko uses her ultimate will keep Nadia's health up. And a 9 of 9, when Naroko receives fatal damage, she spends 3 growth stacks and becomes immune to the damage while recovering 50% health. So this kind of sounds like a cheat death here. When Naroko takes fatal damage, she'll become immune to the damage. So I guess as long as you have 3 or more growth stacks, you'll be able to do this. But I'm guessing if you don't have the 3 growth stacks, this won't happen. That's what I'm getting at least. And let's go ahead and look at the Arena of Trials. I want to see, I just want to see her skills, what her skills look like here. And I'm going to start with the one dummy here. Like I said, I want to go ahead and look at her skills here. I'll move this down a little bit. I'll slow it down. And there's the sand shield on the enemies. There we go. That looked to be the all the damage being done to the enemies by the sand shield. And I'm guessing that is Nadia right there. That worm, that sandworm there, and that's a pretty big worm. I can't tell just how grown Nadia is at this point, but that's pretty big. And yeah, overall, looks like they're doing very well here. Moving across the battlefield, yeah, looks like they're doing very well and taking down those enemies at least. Let's go ahead and look at the Arena Guardian and just see which heroes they bring us here. So I think I'm gonna use Naroko in the front line, and I'm gonna use the 2 Awakened heroes, Awakened Baden and Awakened Athalia, because they're just awesome heroes. And I have a Star here and Kren. Hopefully this team will do a lot of damage. There we go, got the victory there. Let's go ahead and see the statistics here. Yeah, it looks like Naroko doing a little bit of healing. Like I said at the very beginning, the primary role is a regen, so I was hoping to see just a little bit of healing there. The damage as well, not terrible, not too bad damage. Of course, Awakened Athalia does a lot of damage, so she's going to pretty much beat everyone in terms of damage, but getting second place in damage, not bad at all. Also, yeah, the most healing out of everyone, so yeah, not bad at all for Naroko here, it looks like. And overall, I think Naroko could be a pretty useful hero. It's just going to take some testing to see where, if Naroko will shine anywhere, just to see where Naroko will be placed. And hey, if you made it this far into the video and haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. And also, there will be a video on screen that YouTube thinks you would like to watch next, so go ahead and click on that video right now. And thanks for watching.